What's coming in at this point in time? Top aviation sources have told Times Now that 3 Chinese airlines have applied to the DGCA, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, for approval to resume direct flights to the country. Sources have also said that India is calibrating a response and the decision is expected in the next 2 months. The priority is to resume Indian flights first. Now, this comes after India and China decided to resume direct flights and open the airspaces for direct flights. That's the latest update that we are getting for you. We'll be going across to my colleague Isha to get you more inputs on this story. But right now, what we can tell you is that the decision could happen in the next 2 months. As of now, the priority is going to be to give approval to the Indian carriers, Indian airlines, and then, of course, these particular requests are going to be considered as well. What we have learned from sources is that at least 3 Chinese airlines have applied to the DGCA. Isha is joining us on the phone line for more on this. Isha, what more details can you share with us?
So what we have confirmed from our sources is that 3 Chinese airlines have applied to the DGCA to procure the operational requisite, and then after that, they can restore direct flights. In fact, this is the first step that is needed to start direct flights from China to India. And what we're also being told is that after they get an approval from the DGCA, they will then move on to take an approval from the airport authorities as well, in the local airport authorities. In fact, direct flights between the 2 countries were halted with the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, and it's almost been 5 years since that. In fact, it was also the tensions were also heightened between the 2 nations as well after the Galwan clash took place, and now this particular news break has come in after a bilateral took place between the 2 countries, a highly successful bilateral between Xi Jinping and the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. So yes, the approval of the DGCA is absolutely prerequisite before airlines move to secure operational authorization at airports. In fact, this move definitely marks the first concrete step by Chinese airlines to re-enter the Indian airspace. In fact, this has come in after heightened tensions. And in fact, also, Hina, important to note that Indian carriers are also expected to relaunch their services to China. And in fact, what we're also being told is that this particular move, this permission will come in after, it will take at least 2 to 3 months. And the resumption of flights, what we've also been told by our sources is that the resumption of flights between the 2 nations will also lead to economic benefits to the 2. And also, of course, we've spoken to our sources in local airlines in India as well, Indigo and Air India. Right. Sources has confirmed to us that this will be beneficial to them economically as well. So definitely, relations between the 2 nations seems to be improving.
Well, absolutely. Once the approval is granted, we know that this is going to pave the way for formal allocation of slots. Thank you, Isha, for the moment for joining us with your inputs on this story. Let's now move on. U.S. President Donald Trump, viewers, has been making global headlines